Slurped up my G's and a little steamy sunglasses. So for this video, I'm going to show you how you can make a reverb layer for your Reese that has a that has a creative feeling, a movement, a life of its own, a sucking effect. And so not your average reverb. It's a way to spice up your arrangement, give more life to a drum and bass track. So nice and quick and easy today. Nothing too complicated, but very, very useful. Firstly, we're going to get a drum beat involved. I've gone for a little break from Khan Samples. They recently sent out an email with a little minimal DnB kit, and there was just a few breaks in there. I used one of those, 174 E minor. And that's it for today. There'll be more for me very soon. Much love. No, just kidding. So, once we've got the break, then we're going to program in a Reese pattern. And wouldn't you know it, he's using one of his own presets from his own preset packs. Envy, still on sale until Sunday. Big ups to all you guys who supported already. The High Flyer Reese, okay? And I've done some modulation using the macros as well. So firstly, take a look at the MIDI. We have an E, as the break was in E. We glide up 2 octaves to another E, which is a wonderful cinematic Reese pitched movement. And the second time round, we go from E up an octave, but a semitone higher up to the F, okay? So that's the melody, and that just repeats. And macro-wise, you have the tape here and the detuning. They both get increased over the 2-bar kind of loop here. So I'm using 2 macros, the tape and the detuning, which both get gradually increased over 4 bars, and so the Reese character slightly shifts as well. So you hear on that second time round, it really has a slightly different feeling, you know? So it repeats. So basically, you can see the automation here. The detuning goes up and then it repeats. Same with the tape macro. Okay, so those are already built into the patch. Anyway, so a bit of movement on the sound design. Now I've bounced out the Reese, okay, and looped it twice here. So here I've got the Reese bounce, okay. And just for a little mix down enhancement, all I've quickly done is given it a bit of sidechaining to the kick. So you can see here, I've got a little multi-band sidechain against the drums. And the drums, it only really picks up the kick on the sidechain on these ones anyway. So you see the movement here. So the kicks knock the bass down just in the low end here, just sort of 0 up to 200 or so. Knock it down sort of to the -9 or -10 on this F6 meter here. Okay, so a bit of control for the mix down for the low end. Nice and easy. Now we'll get onto the reverb layer. So we're basically going to use this channel as our main Reese, and we're going to duplicate it to create the reverb layer. So down here, we've got another instance of the Reese. And I'm actually using a free plugin, the Beam Haze, to create the reverb. And it's a preset on here called Droplet Verb. So it's very big and long and drawn out and over the top. Okay, almost distorting a bit as well already. But it's got a lovely long sustained texture. So all I'm going to do on this is add a little low cut. So we're just having everything sort of around 1,000 upwards, but on a very gentle cut here. And you can hear it's not distorting anymore because I've knocked out so much content. It's knocked out a lot of volume basically. So we bounce that out as our reverb layer here. And then, as you can see, this long, luscious reverb texture that we're going to try and fit with our original Reese, but it still needs some work, okay? So, while it does already sound quite good, the trick I really wanted to show you, which is super simple, is to add then a big sidechain to this reverb, but not from the Reese itself. It's going to just fit in the background with the Reese as it is. The goal of the compression, the sidechaining compression, is to add movement and flair into the sound. And so for that reason, I'm going to sidechain it to the kick drum again, or just the whole drum track in this case. So I'm just using a normal stock compressor with just heavy sidechain settings up to sort of minus 25 dB. And that's just sidechaining to the kick here. Now it's got this real sucking motion, and now if you listen to it with the Reese together, it's going to have a life of its own as a separate reverb sort of element almost, you know? So every time you have that gap in the Reese now, you have the reverb gets really audible, and it has this sucking motion from the compressor, so it's like it does a little rhythmical shift in that gap, which gives it its identity almost, you know? So it gives you this identity in the reverb. It's not just a bog standard reverb tailing over. It's a separate element with life to it, you know? So all we do after that I just add a touch of stereo ping pong delay after the compression effect. So a little delay tail happens over that sort of gap of that the compressor caused, which kind of smooths it out a little bit, plus a little bit of extra stereo movement from the ping pong delay here. So you still got that movement that the compressor put into the sound, but it's just been smoothed out with some extra harmonics, you know, over the top of it, you know. And after that, another EQ just to take out a little bit more of the lows, just one more time, a little bit lower here, just to 600, just so it doesn't interfere with the main Reese as much. It's layering on top, so this content down here really needs to be removed. And, you know, around here in the high end, it starts to just gel naturally behind the Reese. So we don't need to sidechain it to the Reese necessarily. We just turn the volume down a bit to -2, and then it sounds great alongside the Reese here now. Okay, so obviously in context with the drums again. So really nice element that we've created with a lot of movement and its own identity and vibe, and a lot of depth as well, which is super important. And yeah, we've really filled out the mix quite nicely just with one sound, you know. A Reese already fills out a lot of the spectrum, but having this layer to go with it gives you that sense of depth and extra detail because there's something else happening alongside it on a slightly different rhythm, you know? So in the previous video on YouTube where I gave you an idea for bass and arrangements and composition using the call and response technique with 2 call sounds and 2 response sounds, it's all about creating that vibe and filling out the spectrum, you know, and keeping it interesting. Here we've just used one sound. It's the same sound doing the call and response to just kind of two different notes, but it's the same sound. It's just one bass sound, right? But to add that now interest and to fill out the depth of the field as well, we're creating this new reverb layer, but treating it as its own thing with its own movement on. And so that's another little compositional idea for this kind of tune where you've just kind of got one bass sound and you just want to layer it up with something unique as well, you know? So there we go, my G's. That's it for today. Nice and quick little video, but hopefully it was inspiring for you guys. Please leave a comment down below if it helped you out. I really appreciate it. Smash that like button and all that. All the YouTube talk, YouTube swagger. And yeah, give us a subscribe if you're new and you just want to be part of the journey, join the community. And yeah, check out the links down in my video description as well. I've got preset packs, including one which contains this Reese called Envy, which a lot of you have already grabbed. Thank you guys very much. That's still on sale until Sunday night. And there's loads of other presets on my website, sample packs and stuff as well. And other things I must mention as well. I'm a one-on-one production coach. I've taught over 150 students now, I believe. But yeah, if you need any one-on-one advice, book yourself in for a lesson down below. Hit me up for mixing and mastering work via email if you want that professional finish on your tracks. That's a lot better than AI at the moment still. And come along and join me on Patreon. I have a great community over there, lively Discord with feedback, live streams and more. All right, my G's, that's it from me today. More from me very soon. Much love.